Good morning, and good afternoon to those of you over on the East Coast. If you've seen the post this morning, you know I've been up since 4. It is now 9 my time, so this is the first of many. But look, I got her here. This is my mom, Gail. And so if you've met us out at signings, if you were in Alaska or St. Augustine, a number of different signings over the years, you've probably met her and watched her run around crazy trying to keep up with me and my craziness and my chaos. But she is not only my mom, my manager, and my editor, and we will ask her about that, but she also brought Rocky. How cute is he? He actually is one of my toys from when I was a baby, and he is now Poe's new friend. So we have been all over the place, and he was even hanging out with Poe for his birthday on Monday. And thank you again to everybody who wished him happy birthday, who became a part of it. And Poe, how are you already drunk, buddy?
He keeps wanting to lay down with you.
He does want to lay down. He's just like me. Even he has his little coffee. And then, if you guys remember, my mom's joining us. She's got the Route 66 cup.
Since I went on that?
Yes, if you guys remember the video, that was actually from earlier this year when I did my road trip, which is where the coffee cup came from. But for those of you that have been hanging out with me for a long, long time now, you know that 3 years ago, I rode my bike across Route 66, which we did talk about on that road trip. And she was my chase driver. She followed my very slow butt all the way across the country at 12 miles an hour, watching me try not to kill myself as I crashed in Oklahoma and almost got hit by a house and a number of other fun, exciting adventures.
It was an adventure, yes.
And then, of course, I have my nod to Poe and the Ravens from our trip to Alaska. She was with me there as well. Big, huge bucket list signing. So I talk to you guys all the time about my books and about what I'm doing, what I'm getting ready to go take on as the next adventure. But I really wanted to get a chance to talk to my mom about the editing, about going to the signings. We are actually getting ready to go to Reader Nation. If you guys aren't familiar, there used to be a conference here in Vegas called, I can't remember, it's 20 books to 50,000. And it's mostly for indie authors like me who are learning marketing, who are learning networking, editing, cover design, anything you could want to know. It's a week-long thing. They switched, I think it was last year or the year before, and now it's called Author Nation. Well, Reader Nation is that last day. It's the big book signing. It's when the keynote's there, and we're super, super bummed, and we want to wish James Patterson, who was the keynote this year, he unfortunately is very sick and was unable to attend. She actually came out because we were hoping to meet him, but we are still going, and we're going to go see all the authors that are still there and still signing. So speaking of signings, you've been with me to a number of signings over the years.
I have.
And it has evolved for sure. The table set up, the designs, everything. What has been your favorite part of going to the signings?
Seeing how happy the readers are when they find a book. You know, when they're talking to an author and they find a book that they really think they'll connect with. I think that's great.
If you guys have seen it, and I post it now and then, there's this really cute meme, and a reader comes up to the table and the author's standing there and everybody's talking, and then at the end the reader's bouncing up and down going, oh my god, they signed my book, and the author's going the other way going, oh my god, someone wanted my book. It's real. It is 100% real. And you actually, she likes to disappear on me, but it's because she is an avid reader. Her to-be-read list is probably longer than life expectancy for most humans combined, but
Probably.
we might even find a few new ones today.
Well, now that I have a full bookshelf and have started the auxiliary box of books I want to read, yes.
And of course, being the good, supportive daughter that I am, I took her to a bookstore when she came out, so we had to get more books.
And that was fun.
So what has been the most challenging thing about going to the book signings?
Well, for me, it was getting to know how to use your card reader thing. Every time we had a book signing that I went to, we had to have another tutorial on how to do that. But I don't know, challenging. Well, the first one I ever went to was Authors and Dancers in Perrysburg, Ohio, and it was challenging for me because people came by thinking I was the author, even though I was sitting in front of your banner that looked nothing like me, and they wanted me to sign things and everything, saying, no, she's the author over there. Just learning the whole thing, that was challenging, but then having to say, no, not the author.
That is true. That first signing, and to be fair, Authors and Dancers, if you're not familiar with it, it is a 2-day event. There's a dance recital on Friday night, and then the signing is on Saturday. And I perform in the dance recital. So most people saw me as the dancer and then her as the author. I was there to help her, but I'm actually the only author that crosses over. I dance and I sign. And yes, she's right. She was actually sitting directly below a picture of me on my banner. But
so similar.
But the authors on either side of me that day were around the same age as my mom and had a kind of a similar look. They were all from the Midwest, and there was a lot of commonality. And so they would come up and people would say, would you sign my canvas board? Would you sign my tote bag? And she'd be like, well, the author will. And she would point to me. There's been some unique situations happening with the signing.
Well, another one is sometimes because of trying to get everybody's stuff in, trying to get around.
That's true.
Trying to help people and not fall over somebody next to you and everything, and trying to keep things moving. And
yes, you never know when you get into the ballroom or wherever it is you're setting up. You don't know how tight it's going to be. We got to be really, really good friends with some people in St. Augustine this year because we were so close. But I'm still good friends with them. And if you guys saw the Raven hair clip that I was wearing the other day for post-birthday, that was actually made by the mother of the author that was next to me in St. Augustine this year. So it is a challenge when you get in there. And of course, you don't know until you go to set up. You're just like, well, here's hoping. And then when I was in Atlantic City recently, we had this huge ballroom, but we were actually set up in this huge circle. So the whole inner area, I think people were just letting their kids run around because we had tons of room. So sometimes you're literally bumping into people, and sometimes you're like waving to them from the distance.
Trying to get them to come to you.
But on top of going to signings and acting as my PA and my manager, which really just means watching me have a complete and full meltdown and then talking me back down off the ledge.
Out of bathrooms, out of other places.
The bathroom's only been a couple of times. But she is also, God help her, my editor. And I'm curious, we'll start with this one with what is the most challenging part other than me just going, good luck.
Well, as I relayed to you just a little while ago, the challenging thing for me personally is I get caught up in the story and I'm reading and then realizing that I'm supposed to be editing what I'm reading, and then I have to go back and do that. So for me personally...
I told her to other authors that have editors that have said something similar, that is the best compliment. If you're supposed to be doing a job, if you're supposed to be editing and tearing apart what I sent you, but you're so caught up in the story that you're getting lost and you forget you're supposed to be tearing it apart, I'm cool with that. Please go back and tell me the things that I missed or I misspelled or a plot hole. But if you're getting lost in the story, then I'm so okay with the fact that it might take a little longer.
And you're doing what you're supposed to, keeping me entranced.
Well, and then, so I guess the other question would be, what is your favorite part of editing? I have an idea on what it might be.
Well, mine is getting to read the story before anybody
I do know
else.
You too well. I was guessing
before anybody else gets to, and I've read some other people's books, edited them and stuff, and sometimes I like, when are they going to publish that? Because that was really good, or something. But yeah, that's a kind of a little
Yes, and to be Hey guys, I am so sorry. I have no idea what happened. We were talking about editing and reading books first, and for whatever reason, Facebook stopped us, so we're gonna be in a two-part today, I guess. But speaking of publishing and editing and waiting for books to come out, we are 100% looking at you, Christopher Madden, and that beautiful little sci-fi book of yours.
Really?
My mom
It
is still
was good.
my mom is still waiting for Burn. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and I'm not a sci-fi person, and I really liked your book.
So whenever you get a chance to get it edited, she's waiting for her copy. That was part of the deal. But for those who are looking for editors, are you open to taking on new clients?
I am. I have to do a few things to do that if people want to do everything online, because as you know, currently I'm a paper editor.
Yes.
And things, but I am open to that.
So that is probably something that you guys can check out on my website coming up. It'll probably start sometime around the new year. We're looking at getting her added under Writing Forces. So writingforces.com, keep an eye out for that. So if you, especially if you're a newer author or somebody that's looking to kind of have the opportunity to talk to an editor who doesn't have like 400 clients, she might make you cry, but it's for a good cause because it's her fault and complete credit that Partners in Crime did anywhere near as well as it did. I only had to rewrite it 8 times.
Yeah, that was another one of those challenges when you want to be supportive of your daughter, but you're reading something that you know really needs some critical attention, and you go with that because that's what you're there for. And I did, and
I only cried for like an hour, and then I got to work. But it was worth it.
It was definitely worth it. All the rewrites and everything. I really like that book. So
I do too. But again, I'm a standalone, and it's my standalone. So, but I have more coming. So who knows? Maybe I'll find one that I like better soon. Now I know the answer to this, but what is it you're looking forward to with the books coming up in the next year or two?
a while back, Mackenzie started a series called Voices. And the first one I read, I just was so excited about it was going to be a series and everything. And then other books have come along and everything, and that one hadn't gotten going, and she's going to go back to it soon, and I'm really excited for it because I think the whole concept and everything is going to really draw readers and make them as excited about it as me. So
now, the one thing to know about the Voices series, and I am excited to be writing on it, and I'm working on it's a 4-book series, is that there was an agent that has become interested in that. There's actually a couple that have mentioned some interest. So I am working, and a huge thank you to Bruce Borges for helping me with the query letters and getting everything ready for that. But hopefully I will be making the jump into hybrid. I will still be an indie author. I am still intending to publish a lot of things under my own imprint, which is Writing Forces, but I will hopefully be moving into hybrid, and part of that will be the 4-book Voices series. So yes, she's been very encouraging of that. So last question, we've talked about editing, we've talked about signings, everything, but of course everything centers around books. What is your favorite part about being a reader?
getting lost in another world and meeting and getting to know characters, like friends. And one reason I like series because you watch the character evolve and everything, but even standalones, everything, just being transported into a different area, different things that you're not experiencing yourself.
And this goes out to Victoria Care. You can get lost and still land in a couch or a crouch, either way. Because, with her here, I had to mention it.
Yeah, that was...
But for the record, that series that I'm talking about with Victoria Care, it's the regulated and liberated duality, and oh my gosh, you have to read them.
Yes.
They're fantastic. They're dystopian and they're amazing.
They're very good, and that particular problem was fixed.
So thank you guys for bearing with us and whatever this weirdness with Facebook was. Before they decide to cut me off again today for whatever reason is going on, I'm going to go ahead and say bye. We are going to get to Reader Nation and go say hi to like 500 of my closest author friends. So stay tuned. Me, my mom, Rocky, and Poe, of course, we will be all over the place. And until next week, which might just a quick message for next week. If you guys are familiar with Las Vegas, with Fallout New Vegas, the video game, Pioneer Saloon is like the mecca, and they're hosting Fallout Days next weekend, and I have been invited out. So I don't know if I'm going on Friday or Saturday. I haven't been informed which day they want me to come yet. Whenever I get out there, there will be videos, I'm sure, and yes, Poe will be out there playing Mad Max himself. I know that's a different franchise. But we'll be out there playing End of Times. But I don't know if it's going to be Friday or Saturday. Once I know, I will let you guys know. If it's going to be Friday, then I'll be hanging out with you guys on Thursday morning. But thank you for hanging out. Thank you guys for dealing with all of this technical craziness. You know that things are just never going to go smooth anyway. So until next week and whatever time it is, thank you for hanging out, and make sure to stay caffeinated.